Okay, here we go. And this is going to be a math video. And this is going to be Algebra 2. And this is going to be about interval notation. So depending on what school you go to, you may have heard of interval notation before this. I don't really know though. The school that I go to, I learned about this in Algebra 2. So, this has to do with inequalities, like x is bigger than or equal to 5, and stuff like that. So, using my whiteboard, that's an x. So, you may have seen an inequality like this. Okay, let me erase that x. Okay. So, you may have seen an inequality like this. And it would say solve and graph on another line. So, you have your number line, which goes like this. And I'm just going to put 5 on here. And so it's saying x is bigger than or equal to 5. So it's everything to the right. Everything to the right of 5. Oopsies. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, so everything to the right of 5. So, no. Let me get my pencil. So, you draw a circle above it, above 5, and you would put an arrow going to the right, signaling that it's everything to the right of 5 or anything bigger than 5. So this would be correct for the inequality x is bigger than 5, and most of you probably know this, so that would be correct for that. But since it's bigger than or equal to, you want to color in the circle. Like that. So that would be your graph for, let me find an eraser. That is not an eraser. Is there not an eraser? Let's find out. No. Okay. So, yeah, sure, just cross out that. Don't pay any attention to that. So, this is the correct graph for that. So now, let's say you have, I forgot the interval notation. So you have your number line here, like that, with 5, and then your closed circle, and your arrow. Okay, so there's that graph. And so let's say the instructions say, solve and, I'm just going to do a plus, write in interval, I'm going to do I.n for interval notation. To solve and write in interval notation. So, you have solved your inequality, which is x is bigger than or equal to 5. So, you solved your inequality and you graphed it. I forgot to put that in the instructions, but you graph it on a number line. Then it says write in interval notation. So interval notation is a very interesting thing. It's saying x is equal to from this number to this number. So for this one, we have 5 from 5, and it can be anything above that. So we're going to say it can go up to infinity. Oh my god. 5 can go up to, it can go from 5 to infinity. It can be as big as it wants. So you're like, okay, interval notation, done. Well, no, that's not true, because there's some other things you have to do. So infinity is not technically a number. If anyone tells you that it is, say they're wrong. Unless don't say like rude. So what you're going to do is you're going to put this in parentheses. But if it includes the number, so like if x could be equal to infinity, you would instead put a bracket. So let's start with 5. So it's bigger than or equal to 5. So x could be 5. So we put a bracket around it. And let's see, infinity. Well, infinity isn't technically a number. So no matter what, infinity is going to get a parenthesis. So this is the correct answer for this inequality. So that makes sense. So let me get rid of all this. Oh, no, there goes the number. I didn't want to write that again. Dang it. Alright, okay. So let's say you have, let me change the color. So let's say you have another inequality. Let's do red in spirit of Christmas. No, I'll do green. So let's say you have an inequality that looks like this. So -4 is bigger than 3x plus 5, which is smaller than or equal to 8. We'll do 8. So, and again, it says solve when writing it in rotation, but I'm not writing that again. So, you have your straight line here. Oh, that's what that's for. So you have your straight line there and straight line there. And your, let me go back to green. And your, there's on the side of your number line. And let me change the color of that so that it's not like crazy to look at. Okay. So you have your number line and you have your inequality. So you have to solve this. So you have to get x by itself in the middle. So you minus the 5. So you get negative. Oh, this is the wrong tool. You get negative 9 is smaller than 3x. And then you have to minus the 5 from this side as well. So you say, but 3x is smaller than or equal to 8 minus 5, which would be 3. So you now have this, and now you have to divide by 3 to get x by itself. So you have negative 3 is smaller than x, and x is smaller than or equal to 1. So, let's see. Let me get rid of that and replace it like that. There we go, good enough. So you solved your inequality now, and you are left with, we'll go red. You're left with this. So that's your solved inequality. So now you need to graph it on a number line. So you take your smallest number, which is -3. That looks like 0.3. -3, that doesn't even look like 3. Then your biggest number, which is 1. That looks like a 2, but it's a 1. It's a 1. So x is bigger than -3. So you have an open circle, and you're going this way. And then, but it's smaller than or equal to 1. So you have a closed circle, and you're going this way. So you have a and problem, obviously, because they're going in towards each other. So when you write this in interval notation, you're going to start with -3, comma, I almost wrote 2, but it's a 1. -3, comma 1. And then you think, let's see, is it including -3? Well, it just can be greater than -3, so that means, no, it can't include -3. So you put a parenthesis. there's no infinity because the value of x has to be between -3 and 1, not a 2. Oh my god. So, then you think, well, can the value of x include 1? Well, it's smaller than or equal to 1, so yeah, it can. So, that is your interval notation and your number line. So the black would be your answer for this problem. And let's see here, delete that. Good enough. So that is your answer there. That looks terrible. So that's your answer to that. So now let's go over the last type of interval notation that you would have. So let's get out our number line again, and let's do blue this time. We have our number line with our 2 arrows. And this is going to be an OR problem, so still going up 2 dashes. Okay. So, why don't I do... Trying to think of one off the top of my head that has to be an OR problem. So let's just skip the solving part because you should know how to do it. So let's say 7 is smaller than or equal to x, and x is bigger than, wait, I forgot the or x is bigger than -4. So you're going to graph this on your number line first. So -4 and 7. And then you graph it. So we'll start with -4. So it's bigger than -4. No, I did that wrong. No, never mind. Gotta get rid of all those. No. Okay. So it's smaller than -4. Okay. Like that. So you have -4 here. And 7 there. So you think, okay, so -4, it's smaller than -4, but it doesn't include -4. You have an open circle, your line goes that way, and you're 0. And then you think, okay, well, it's bigger than 7, and it includes 7, so I have a closed circle, and your arrow goes that way. So immediately you can tell, okay, this is an OR problem. But how do I do this in an interval notation? So we'll start off with -4. So you have your 2 numbers, but what's this number? What is that number? Well, it can be as small as possible. So it's -infinity. So -infinity isn't technically a thing. I was about to say a number, but it's not a number. So it can go from -infinity up to -4. So then you think, well, can it include -infinity? Well, infinity is not a number, so -infinity wouldn't be a number. So no, it can never include -infinity or infinity. Then you think, well, can it include -4? Wait, let me make the parentheses better. Think, can it include -4? Well, that's an open circle, so no. Then you're like, okay, well, what about this 7 over here? Well, what you do is you write a U here, a capital U, and that means OR. In terms of math, that means OR. So then you have all your second numbers, which go from 7 to, let's see, infinity, because it's greater than. Okay. So then you think, it doesn't include 7? Well, it's a closed circle. So yes, it does. So you put a bracket, and that's infinity, so it doesn't include it, so you put a parenthesis. So this, well, this is your answer minus, well, right, minus this, no. Minus that part there. Okay, yeah, that would be your answer for this problem. So this, the solution to this inequality is the stuff in the red. Okay? So, I have a problem that I want you to do. And it is going to be x is bigger. No, yeah, x is, nope. No, I did that wrong. So 1 is smaller than x, but x is smaller than 2. Is smaller than or equal to 2. So I want you to solve this. I want you to solve it and write it in interval notation. Okay? And yeah, I'll put this in the description. And yeah, try and solve it and put your answer down in the oh, didn't think about that. Take a picture of your answer and put it in the comment section if you want. I don't really care though, because it's kind of hard to put a number line. Put their interval notation in the comments. Okay? Okay, that is going to be it for this video. So if you enjoyed, please like and consider subscribing if you really enjoyed. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.